staying with Telkom, South Africa's mobile service provider is releasing its interim results. This is against the backdrop of predictions that the business will see a jump in half-year profits. The telecom's operator says its headline earnings per share could increase by as much as 25%. Our business reporter, Wandiswa Ntengeto, is at Telkom in Centurion. Wandiswa, a very good morning to you. Give us a sense of what we should expect.
Good morning, Paul. Of course, I am in Centurion at Telkom. We've heard that businesses in the telecom sector saying that it's been a difficult trading environment. However, this partly state-owned and partly privately owned Telkom came out there saying that our revenue came in a bit strongly than other telecoms companies. Now, to talk more on this, we're joined by the captain of the ship, Mr. Sipho Maseko. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Now, as we know, sir, that Telkom is South Africa's third largest telecoms company. Now, the company attributes to the continued growth and a strong financial performance over the last 6 months. Now, in a trading statement to shareholders last week, you said that you expect headline earnings for the 6 months ended September will likely be between 15% and 25% higher than before. What exactly would drive this boost?
Well, yeah, so we've had a very, very strong first half, despite the very tough trading conditions. Our mobile business really outperformed our expectations. There was strong data demand and data consumption, both on the fixed and the mobile side. We've seen revenue growth of about 47% compared to the same period last year. We've seen massive traffic growth, and actually that bears testimony to the fact that our capital investment in the last years has been appropriate. We've invested in expanding the network, in making the network a lot more stable. We have the right value propositions, and that has been the big driver. But on top of that as well, we also made sure that many other areas of inefficiency that we have, we can manage them better. And it's actually an even better cost-saving process that we have that helped in improving our headline earnings for the period.
Now, moving to the latest partnership, Telkom has entered a new venture with one of the local broadcasters to basically stream content, and this is, of course, in loggerheads with Netflix. The cost of data, sir, is an ongoing issue. How are you making this service affordable, and will the venture be able to meet the demands for fresh local content?
Yeah. Well, we have no doubt, and that is why we have gone the way that we have. We will partner with local broadcasters to bring about local content. We'll also look to encourage young and upcoming filmmakers to be able to produce local content that we'll curate on our platform. This is a start. But more importantly for us, we recognize that connectivity and content are almost converging. People are using data in order to be able to consume content, and that is why one of the offerings that we have on this streaming platform, if you're a Telkom subscriber, is that you'll be able to stream some of the services for free. And we're making that available to our subscriber base, much as it will be available to everybody. However, we can't determine if you are on another network that you will get the service for free. So for us, it's not just entertainment, it's also education content. It's different types of services that we'll be offering to South Africans at large. The broadcaster that we have partnered with has been part of the South African topography for a very long time, and we actually think that in partnership with them, we can be able to reach everyone and make sure that nobody gets left behind.
Now, lastly, let's talk about spectrum. How are you making sure that you entrench your place in the market, particularly when you look at improving the network, the service?
Well, spectrum is one of the most important things to be able to be a meaningful participant. We are now a solid number 3 player. We are still looking to grow, and we've made a big bet on data. So one of the things around spectrum is to make sure that we get the right frequencies that we'll be able to invest on. We actually made some investments as well on the temporary spectrum that was allocated during COVID, and we did see that there was quite a lot of improvement in terms of the speeds and the services that people could get. that, whether they were schools, whether they were hospitals, whether they were clinics. We made sure that we can reach as many people as possible. We eagerly await the final determination of how spectrum will be allocated. It's a very important thing for us. And hopefully, once that is finalized as soon as possible, we'll be able to then proceed in making the right investment to support the spectrum allocation.
But, I mean, before I let you go, Mr. Maseko, I cannot let you go without actually asking you this. So earlier in the year, unions fought against the slashing of almost 3,000 jobs as the business obviously struggled with declining performance. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, the economy is in very, very difficult conditions, and we've seen that. And if you think we are having trouble, you can imagine people who are in the hospitality sector, who are in the aviation sector. COVID has been has had a very devastating effect on the economy, although our economy has been having very, very weak growth in any event. And part of the challenges that we are having is that we are now also transitioning to a digital world. And how do we make sure that all businesses can be able to adapt in a new world? Losing jobs is something that we never look forward to. It's a very, very difficult thing. However, we have to make sure that even when we have to do that, we treat our employees with dignity and respect. We give them as much support as we possibly can, not only to be able to afford them opportunities to look for other jobs elsewhere, but give them the skills which will make them adaptable in the digital world that we are in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. And Mpho, as you've seen, that is CEO of Telkom, Mr. Sipho Maseko, there, talking about job security, talking about spectrum, talking about strengthening the balance sheet. And of course, that's all we have for now, Mpho.
Very well, let's leave it there for now. Business reporter and Wandiswa Ntengeto speaking there to the Telkom CEO.